It helps if you grab the right mic. Okay, who agrees they need to go out and get a dirt bike after hearing Chris talk? I felt so left out. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about something a little more touchy-feely. And I would start by saying love and joy. Who wants more? Everybody. I feel like I should not step in front of this no-go zone. I should have probably turned that off. What I found is that most of us are searching for more love and more joy in our lives. Yet, unfortunately, we learn oftentimes as little ones that life is hard and that in this life you will have trouble. And unfortunately, I learned that lesson as a child when a night of typical teenage angst ended up being kicked out on living on the streets. So, as a homeless teenager, I encountered my rapist for the first time in the streets of Denver. And as my rapist lay on top of me, I had this overwhelming sense of compassion for this man. And this sense of what were the lies that he believed about his worth. And it really just juxtaposed the heaviness of him on top of me with the heaviness in my heart. And I threw up what I called my Hail Mary prayer. Anybody ever done one of those? God, if you're real, please make him stop. And he did. And that night I learned not only about compassion, but I learned about a calling that I had to love the unlovable. And so Lovejoy CO was born out of this 14-year-old broken me, because what I learned is in my journey for healing my own brokenness that I found that despite the fact that we're more connected than ever through smartphones and social media, we're actually more disconnected, more isolated, lonelier, unhappier, unhealthier, and more suicidal than at any time in human history. So I created Lovejoy CO out of a desire to help people unbridle the fullness of love and joy, and what I call embracing the suck. Because reality is, oh good, my blue light's gone, I can move. The reality is life sucks sometimes, right? Can I get an amen? And I wasn't okay with that, because what I see a lot of times is that we have everything available at our disposal through technology and through the ability to connect with other people, but we haven't really figured out how to do that. And so the idea of human connection is just something that I'm so passionate about. So I help people identify through the conversations that we have swirling in our heads, what are the lies we believe about our worth? Vocationally, relationally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, even sexually. What are those lies that we're believing? And then what about our capacity, our strengths, and our resilience? What are the things that we've overcome in the past that can help us in the future? And then finally, this one I love is our communities. Who are our watchmen on the wall? Who are the people that we have looking out for us and believing in us when we don't even believe in ourselves? So that's what Lovejoy CO was birthed out of. My 20 plus years of federal employment and nonprofit experience in really helping individuals, relationships, and communities not just survive, but live fully alive. To really say, I'm not okay with the status quo, that I really don't just go with the flow. I want more. And I want to really help people unbridle that fullness of love and joy, knowing that we get to choose. Right? Do we want to be a victim or do we want to be victorious? Yeah. My little secret, we get to choose. So I think every one of us in here, if we went around the room, we all have a story, and we all could say oh, my story, I'm a one-upper. I got you beat. We all have bad things that happen to us in life, and so that's what we do with Lovejoy CO, is we help people unbridle that fullness of love and joy. So I was coasting along in my federal career, and I'm a person of faith. I don't know if you might have picked up on that, but God flipped my boat over and told me to walk on water and go back home to Colorado. Yay! I was in Texas, y'all. Can you tell, I picked up the yell. And I missed Colorado desperately. I have a father in a nursing home here, so it was partly like doing the daughterly deeds, taking care of my daddy-o, and then also really coming home and reconnecting. So why I'm here today is because I want some help in that space, and we'll get to that later. But all that to say, I really believe Colorado is where my heart is. And so before I even, like Chris, before I had even built anything, I was called by the Air Force Academy to come talk to them about resilience, because how many of you know we're struggling with suicide in the DoD? And so I got to speak life into this leadership team at the Air Force Academy and say, like, I believe we can fix this. I think we can really take authority over suicide, and we can really help people. So that's what we do. This is what I'm all about, and I think my time is up.